That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. This is a lot better coming in here and looking at you guys as state champs once again than the previous years. That's for sure. We're really proud of our football team. South Carolina. First of all, South Carolina. Give them credit. They're a good team. They really have. They've had a heck of a run against us, and today was just our day. It was our day, and proud of our team. I'm proud for our team, proud for our staff, and our fans. It's good to be state champs again, and just an awesome locker room down there. And from a season standpoint, when we started out 1-2, probably played our best game of the year in Tallahassee, to be honest with you, and somehow lost the game. A lot of times teams can not recover from a loss like that. But we have a great culture here, and one of the things I tell our guys all the time is our culture will sustain success, and our culture will weather adversity. And so we didn't get the start that we wanted, 1-2, but we won 8 out of the last 9, and we went undefeated at home. And I'm so proud of our team, our seniors. I mean, what an incredible group. I mean, these guys, to get their 41st win today, to become the winningest class ever at Clemson is special. And they surpassed that 1990 class. And ironically, that 1990 class, they became the winningest class ever against South Carolina with that win against them in 1990. And, in that game, the leading rusher was DeShaun Williams' daddy. And 24 years later, here's DeShaun Williams, having the type of game that he had today, a couple tackles for loss, a sack. I just think that, it's just special to see them be able to check that box. They've done a great job with our goals since they got here, those seniors, but the only one they hadn't gotten accomplished was the one they did today. And I'm so happy that, the best of the best leave a legacy, and I'm glad that will be a part of their legacy as they move on from here. Offensively, our best day in a long time. 491 yards. We really thought we could run the football. 225 yards rushing, 260-something passing, 0 sacks, no sacks. Really proud of our offensive line. Number 4 threw for 269. Wayne Gallman, 191 yards. Artavis Scott, 185 yards. And according to Tim Beret, that's the first time ever in school history to have a 250-yard passer, 180-yard rusher, 180-yard receiver. And, oh, by the way, they're all freshmen. And so I'm really, really proud of those guys. And I think for Artavis, it maybe was the most yards ever in the stadium by a Clemson player. So just an incredible performance, by our team. And a few guys with just superlative efforts. Defensively, 13 tackles for loss. Number 3, I told him coming into this game, he's a Lombardi finalist. He's a Bednarik finalist. He needed to play like one. And, a couple sacks, a caused fumble, put pressure on the quarterback all day. Special. Again, DeShaun Williams. And I think they only had 50-something yards rushing or so. 63 yards rushing, and that was a critical factor for us. Really challenging the guys that they've been at their best when they've been able to run the football and have some balance, and they've done a nice job of that all year, really against everybody. But if we could take the run away from them, it was going to be a tough day for them, and the big play. They've survived off the big play, so we were able to take the big play for the most part away, and they couldn't run the football, and that was a huge part of the game. So you give the credit to those guys up front. They just absolutely dominated the game in the trenches. And then, the one guy I talked about in our locker room, is such a great example to so many people. I kind of live by the saying that God never says oops, and sometimes things happen that we don't like and all that kind of stuff. And one of my favorite verses in the Bible is Galatians 6:9. It says, "Don't grow weary from doing what's right, doing what's good. At the appropriate time, you'll reap a harvest of blessing." And there is not a guy on our team that epitomizes that more than Tony Stewart, because that young man never grew weary He never gave up. He never lost belief. He never gave up on his dream, on his opportunity. And to see him, first of all, had the season he had, but to see him play like he played today, man, it's what it's all about. And, it's such an inspiration to me to see a guy like that rise up, have his best game in his last game. I think he had 3 tackles for loss. He had a huge play on the goal line. He had a couple of big tackles on special teams. And, man, I'm just really happy for Tony Stewart. Really, really happy for him. But, huge win for us. And, we obviously are excited. We'll enjoy this one. Really look forward to, finishing up this recruiting class. And we're going to get on the road right away Monday. We got a lot to do in the next couple of weeks of this contact period. And finding out who we're going to play in the postseason. We got a chance to go get a 10th win, for 4 years in a row to have 10-plus wins. And, to finish, I don't know that we've finished 4 years in a row ranked in a long, long time. And so we got an opportunity to do that. So there's a lot of things out there, but we're going to enjoy this one. We're going to enjoy this one here. And, our players will get a little bit of time off before we get back to bowl practice and really turn our focus to academics and our finals coming up here in a couple weeks. But I really want to also just ask that everyone, keep Brandon Thomas in your prayers. His mom, Yvonne, they buried her today. And, I looked at those seniors in that locker room today, and that was one of the things I told them. Last year BT was one of those seniors. And a year later he's burying his mom. So I just hope everyone will keep him in their prayers. And also my dad. My dad's in the hospital and not doing very well. I hope everybody will keep him in your thoughts and prayers as well. So, and one thing I want to say, because it's been a crazy situation here the last couple of weeks. But DeShaun Watson, he is a mental and genetic freak. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know how else to say it, to be honest with you. He came out of that Georgia Tech game, and we thought he tore his ACL. And as y'all know, it came back he hadn't torn his ACL. He had an injury in high school, and the MRI, it kind of showed the exact same, you kind of traced the ligament or whatever, and it was exactly the same as his high school MRI. And so it's not an ACL tear. And but it was something that they said, well, here's the deal. This thing may hold up for the rest of his career, or we might really need to think about, because it was a little different than his other one, but it was the same as high school. And they were like, we might need to think about going ahead and, really fixing this and making it as secure as the other one. It was a little looser than the other one. So we were kind of contemplating that. Well, let's go back and let's play and let's finish here, and we'll have to make that decision. We're going to get a lot of different opinions, and he gets back to practice. He looks unbelievable. He's bouncing around. He's going through cones, and that Thursday of the Georgia State game, he just all of a sudden he did everything, and he kind of dropped back, avoided he was working a little drill where you avoid the rusher and peel back, and he went down. And but he walked off. So we did another MRI on Friday, and the ACL was torn. So you can imagine how we all felt at the time. But Deshaun's like, I still think I can go. And we talked about it. And, Taj Boyd played about 4 games in high school and took his team to the state championship and got the MVP of the U.S. Army game with a torn ACL. So we talked about it, and I tell you, Dr. Bowman and Danny Poole and their staff did an incredible job. An incredible job of basically that brace was his ACL today. And this kid just played this entire game with a torn ACL. And when he shot off and ran that touchdown, it was just unbelievable. And the only issue he had today was his brace was so tight it was making his calf go to sleep. He was losing his circulation. But, I tell you that because we're going to have to do surgery on him after the season. He's going to play in the bowl game, and and we'll have to do surgery on him after the season, and he'll be back and rolling by this summer. But you just need to know what a special human being this guy is, and just what an unbelievable performance that we just witnessed. I mean, just unbelievable, and couldn't be more proud of for a young man. His will to win, his preparation, his mental capacity, his toughness, his leadership, it is off the charts, and I'm really proud for him. With that, I'll take your questions.
Was this as an emotional win as you've ever been a part of today?
Yep, it was.
And what are maybe some of the factors that you just talked about a bunch of them, but just...
Well, you live with this one every day. You live with this one every day. Maybe I can go back to church. I mean, this is one that means a lot to a lot of people, and it's as many good things as we've done. It's the one thing that everybody wants to remind us of. That's the world we live in. Everybody wants to talk about what you haven't done. So, we've done that, and now we need to, continue that. We're going to play again next year, again, I give a lot of credit to South Carolina. Again, they didn't have a great year this year, but they've been a heck of a team. Coach Spurrier's done an unbelievable job, and they've been the better team on this day. But today we were the better team.
Now that we know that playing with a torn ACL, when Watson went out those times he did, what was causing? Was it just pain or?
No, as I said a minute ago, his calf was going to sleep. It was so tight, and he had one of them swag bands on there too. Everything was just kind of cutting the circulation off down there. So we got in there at halftime and kind of undid it all, loosened it back up, and he was good.
Coach, 2008 was an awfully long time ago. Is it hard to? Does it feel like it was a long time ago the last time you guys beat South Carolina, or does it feel like that was just?
That was a long time ago.
Dabo, you said, oh, by the way, those three guys are freshmen. What does it say about where the program is right now, where it's headed, if you got those kind of?
Well, we got the #1 offensive line class going to be showing up here in a few weeks in the country. Got a couple great young quarterback prospects coming in here. We got some excellent skill. We've got obviously we're going to lose some good defensive players, but we got a bunch of them back, and a group that we will bring in here. We've got a great foundation. We really do, and it takes guys a little bit. We knew we would transition this year, and obviously, this has been a unbelievable year for us offensively as far as all the moving pieces and things that have had to be managed, especially up front. It's just been hard to have continuity and consistency, and whether it's the quarterback, the wideouts, the running backs, it's been every position. I don't know that I've really ever been through a year like this, and so for us to be 9-3 and to have been able to accomplish what we've been able to accomplish, I mean, I'm really proud of my staff, first of all, and I'm proud of our players for just fighting through and finding a way, to win. We found different ways to win, but our future is incredibly bright. I've said many times we're built to make a run. We're not going to go away. When I got the job 6 years ago, I didn't want to just have a good team. I wanted to build a program, and I think we have a program in place that's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than me, any coach, any player. And good players leave, good players come in, and it's our job to develop them. And you lose a guy like Sammy Watkins, Taj Boyd, Ellingtons, Martavises, Nukes, some great players like that. And here's a guy like DeShaun Watson, Wayne Gallman. Guys grow up. Artavis Scott. Artavis Scott's the most yards ever. He broke Martavis Bryant's record. So I mean, just some good young talent. And listen, a lot of our freshman talent you haven't really seen yet because they haven't had quite as much opportunity because of some guys in front of them. Well, we got a bunch of good players that are true freshmen and redshirt freshmen and sophomores that just haven't really quite had the opportunity yet because they've had some stallions in front of them. You just look at a guy like Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley. He didn't start here till his junior year, redshirt junior year. He had Andre Branches and Daquan Bowers and Malachi Goodmans. He had guys like that, and he had to develop. So we've got a good talent base, and it's fixing to get a lot better here in a few weeks.
Aggressions of the team, particularly defensively.
Excuse me?
Talk about the aggressions of the team, particularly defensively.
They were awesome. I mean, they had their jaw set when they came into this thing. I mean, the goal line stand was unbelievable. The stop on downs, a couple of short yardage times. I mean, just, you know, we did a great job of not giving up. They had a couple late there, but we didn't give them a lot of the big. In the past, they've had some big play touchdowns on us, and we didn't give that up. And then the biggest thing, guys, is we took care of the ball. I mean, we had a chance in the fourth quarter last year with, I think we had 3 turnovers and still a touchdown game. You know, we took care of the ball. We scored more. We had 7 points off of turnovers. They had 3. So I said going into it, if we could just be even, you know, we can win the game. And we were able to accomplish that. Thought we had one more right there at the end. But yeah, they didn't want to give that one to us.
Wins as this program's had over the past 5 years, where does this rank?
It's up there with any of them because this is a season of its own. You know, this is the state championship. It's one of our goals. It stands alone. So it's as big a win as we've had. I mean, obviously the ACC championship, something we hadn't done in 20 years. You know, we hadn't won this one in 5. We hadn't won that ACC championship in 20 years. We hadn't been in the Orange Bowl in 30-something years. Hadn't won it in forever. So, you know, winning a BCS Bowl, beating Ohio State, and, you know, beating LSU. We've had some beating Auburn, beating Florida State. You know, we had in 11 we beat Auburn and Florida State and Virginia Tech, and you know, there's been a lot of great moments. But certainly this one kind of stands alone for sure.
I want to make sure we're totally clear on DeShaun's ACL. All the assurances were there that he was safe to play today, and that he can go ahead.
Can't hurt any worse. It was like I told him, he's going to have to go to the gas station and fill up no matter what. It's whether somebody towed him in there or he jogged in there. You know, we're going to have to do surgery regardless. But he was great. I mean, I just am. I'm telling you, I am amazed. I watched him all week in practice, and I really couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it just is like, hey, let's go. You know, just nope. I mean, and just the confidence that he brings to everybody else is special. Makes everybody else better. But I really don't know what to say. I mean, I watched Taj Boyd lead his team in the state championship with the same thing. I watched him play in the Army game and win the MVP of that game. And so and I think we had a quarterback here. Tim was telling, what was it? Mike Epley played a whole year with a torn ACL. So, I mean, it's something that we're going to have to fix. But, you know, Dr. Bowman and Danny Poole did an unbelievable job in you know, getting the brace exactly the way it needed to be. So it could only, you know, basically acted as his ACL for him. And he didn't have any pain. We forget about his little finger. He did pretty good with the gloves on and protecting the top of his hand. But he's special. We need to enjoy this one while we got him here.
What's your understanding of what's going on with Chad and SMU? When do you expect resolution?
Oh, we ain't even going to talk about all that stuff other than to say that, you know, if Chad has an opportunity and it's something that he wants to do and feels good about, hey, I wish him nothing but the best. He's helped us and we've helped him, and so, you know, it's obviously I hadn't been a head coach that long, but you know, I plan to be, and this, you know, if he decides it's something he wants to do, then and he hasn't decided that, but if it's something that he decides he wants to do, then it won't be the last time I'll have somebody leave to be a head coach or to go be a coordinator, and you know, that's great. I think that's great for your staff, and you know, nobody'd be happier for him than me. But you know, he hasn't made that decision yet, and you know, he's got an opportunity, and he'll look at it, and we'll make. If there's something to report on, we'll talk about it. But
does that all come together this week?
I don't know. I have no idea. I it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Anything else?
Coach, just from the aspect of the torn ACL, were you concerned at all that he may do serious damage, or there was from what you heard from the doctors, there was nothing more that could happen to his knee.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else he could do. Like I said just a second ago, he's going to have surgery anyway. And they were very confident. They would never put him out there if he was in danger or anything like that. But you saw him, and you saw him run, make plays. That touchdown he scored was incredible. I mean, just looked like he was shot out of a cannon. No big deal. So, again, hats off to DeShaun, first of all, for putting in the work, and our staff, Dr. Bowman and Danny Poole and all of them just did an incredible job of, getting him to where he could play.
Was the streak a non-issue coming to this game? Was it a non-issue for the team?
Yeah, it's a non-issue. I mean, it's an issue for everybody else. But for the team, it's got to be about these 4 quarters. If you go into a game and all you're thinking about is what's happened in the past, you're probably going to repeat the past. It's about getting yourself ready, doing what you got to do to play well, to perform well. That's what your focus has to be. You can't be focused on, what happened last year or year before, whatever. Fans talk about that, but our guys, they understand. We don't have to remind them. They don't live in a cave. They know that we lost several in a row, and they wanted to win the game badly. Every team that we've had has wanted to win the game badly, but today we deserve to win. Past few years, we haven't deserved to win. Last year we played really, really well, but we didn't deserve to win the game and take care of the ball. And today we did what we needed to do to win the game, and so we deserve to win. And, we physically dominated the game in all aspects.